Yeah, laugh all you want, but when the vampires start coming, I'm gonna be ready for them. Some of you may recall a previous video in which we discussed the theory behind why a wooden stake through the heart kills a vampire, and I showed off my collection of vampire stakes. Well, vampire stakes, or wooden stakes, are not the only tools to use against vampires. As such, I thought it would be a good idea to make a follow-up video and discuss some of the other tools of the trade when it comes to vampire hunting. And so here we are. In this case is my own personal custom vampire hunting kit. So I'm going to open this up, I'll show you what's inside, we'll go through the various items, and you'll see just what you need if you're going on a vampire hunting expedition. Now, some of you may have seen around the internet, people have posted articles and photos, and some people have even tried to sell antique vampire hunting kits. These are, however, of course, modern replicas of what people think a vampire hunting kit should look like. This is not that, although there is some overlap. This is my own creation of a modern vampire hunting kit. So let's have a look, and you can see what I have inside. These are the tools of the trade for hunting vampires. But let's not just have a look inside. I'm going to get the camera off the sticks, give you a close-up, and go through what is in here and why each item is included in the vampire hunting kit. And so here it is. This is everything you could possibly want if you find yourself in a position to defend against or hunt down vampires. Of course, the most obvious inclusion are the vampire stakes. There are 2 simple vampire stakes down in this pocket, and then there are 1, 2, 3, 4 additional stakes for a total of 6, including my favorite one here. There's also a mallet here for hammering those stakes home. Of course, there's a bulb of garlic, because garlic is one of the most useful things against vampires. And of course, as everyone knows, vampires are sort of allergic to religious objects, blessed objects, religious symbolism, and so forth, which is why there's a crucifix here, a rosary here, which incidentally, this rosary has been blessed by the Pope. There is also a container full of holy water here. In this pocket is a copy of the Bible, and so I'm prepared to use these religious items to defend against vampires as necessary. Down in this pocket there are 2 particularly interesting little vials of stuff. If you're familiar with the TV show Supernatural, you know that vampires are vulnerable to dead man's blood, so that's what this is, and never you mind how I got my hands on this. There is also a blend here of garlic salt and holy water. So this is a liquid garlic blend with holy water. But of course, just sprinkling the holy water or the dead man's blood is probably not enough. So here I have a set of syringes suitable for injecting the vampire with the dead man's blood or the holy water garlic salt mix. In this pocket here there are 2 more vials. These are vials of dry substances. This one is gopher dust, which is not specific to vampire hunting, but is used in a variety of folk magic traditions. This powder is my own proprietary anti-vampire blend. I'm not going to give the full recipe, but it includes a variety of things that vampires don't like, including, of course, garlic, salt. Also, there is rosemary, there is red brick dust, and a variety of other substances in that vial. In this pocket here, I keep a small dagger, which is probably not going to be terribly useful against a vampire, but you would be foolish to go on any vampire hunting expedition without one, so I keep that there. And hidden down in this little pocket here is a small mirror, which you can use to identify vampires, because as anyone knows, vampires do not cast a reflection in a mirror. There's some debate regarding whether they don't cast a reflection because vampires are meant not to have a soul and thus don't cast a reflection, or whether it's because mirrors used to be made of silver and silver was considered a pure substance, and for that reason vampires didn't cast a reflection. So there's some debate whether a modern mirror, which is not made of silver, is functional or not, so you should be aware of that debate. but nevertheless, it's still a good idea to keep a small mirror for identification purposes in your vampire hunting kit. And finally, there's this item here. Everyone knows that vampires are nocturnal because they're vulnerable to sunlight. Specifically, they are vulnerable to ultraviolet rays, so this is a UV flashlight. And this is useful not only just as a flashlight for looking around, but also because it is a UV flashlight, this is useful directly for burning the vampires. A small flashlight like this is probably not going to be fatal to the vampire, but it should sting enough and give you an opportunity to use one of your other weapons. And last, but certainly not least, if you find yourself in the position where you need to kill a vampire from a distance, guns won't work because bullets are useless against vampires. But an arrow will, whether you fire it from a longbow or from a crossbow. Now be aware that a carbon arrow like this is useless against a vampire, but if you happen to have a wooden arrow like this one, it will do the trick. Even though this has a metal arrow head, the shaft is wood, making this essentially a projectile vampire stake against vampires from a distance. Well, that does it. That gives you some of the whys and wherefores in the design of a vampire hunting kit. As always, thank you very much for watching. Please do make sure that you like this video and subscribe to this channel for more horror-related goodness. If you happen to watch this when it's originally posted in May of 2021, you should be aware that I'm running a contest in which I'm giving away a big box full of books, so check out my channel. There's another video on the channel where I announce and go through the rules for that giveaway, so have a look at that. And finally, as I say every time, take care and stay scared.